Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with something new on my channel. I'm going to be doing these videos every Tuesday. Now these are referred to Top 5 Wednesday videos, but today is Tuesday. And I'm also not doing Top 5. I'm doing a Pick 5. So essentially what this is, it's a group over on Goodreads. It was started by a couple of booktubers. I will leave it linked in the description box below. And every week they give you a new prompt. And this is for not only booktubers, but also book bloggers to, here's your prompt, pick 5 books that fit that prompt kind of an idea. And I thought that these would be really fun to do because I'm changing around the days that some of my videos get posted because I used to have videos go up on Thursdays. And on Thursdays, I also do a live show. So it was kind of like 2 videos in a day. So I've decided to move that Thursday video to Wednesdays. And when I looked at my schedule, literally the only day I don't have a video going up is Tuesdays. And these are pretty straightforward and easy videos, to be completely honest. Looking at the prompts, I mean, they're a video that I can sit and film in 10 minutes, They don't take a ton, it's like a tag video in a way, right? So I encourage any of you who do BookTube, who are looking for some content ideas, definitely check out that group. So the video that I'm doing, so the prompt that I'm doing is actually the one from the previous Wednesday. So this was the prompt for the Wednesday just before today. And the prompt was either the highest rated books on your TBR, which is kind of difficult, people were finding, to sort them on Goodreads. And I don't have everything listed on Goodreads just yet. Or books over 400 pages. And I thought books over 400 pages I could definitely do. Because I do have some of them, my friends. And I need to get to them. But the problem is that I don't tend to pick up the bigger, chunkier books because they take longer to get through. But, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. But I do have a plan for at least one of them. So let me go through these books. I actually have them in order from the least number of pages to the most number of pages. And I do own all of them, but 2 of them are on my Kindle. So I'll pop pictures of them up here. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't tend to reach for the bigger, thicker books, but I really need to because I have these ones and I really do want to read them. So coming up in the first spot, again, this is not a top 5. This is just literally in order of the page count. We have The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. So about 2 or 3 years ago, I read The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, which I really, really enjoyed. It is a great gothic story. I thought it was fantastic. This one has been touted as the first, the longest, and the best of modern English detective novels. That's from T.S. Eliot. So this is a vintage Collins edition, but I really like the cover. It does match my edition of The Woman in White. So yeah, this one comes in at 473 pages, this edition in particular. And yeah, I do want to read it. It sounds really good. Next month is March Mystery Madness. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make myself not make myself, but have this as be my month-long read and, read a little bit of it every day and read it throughout the month. So that way it's not so, I thought about grabbing it on audio, but I'm still not really feeling like listening to audiobooks. So if I kind of break it down over the course of a month, it might be a little bit easier to get through instead of because it would probably take me at least a week to get through this thing because the writing is a little bit different than more modern stories. So it's a classic and classics do take me a bit longer to get through. The next one that I have here is one of my favorite genres of books is actually these epic historical fiction novels, Edward Rutherford and James A. Michener. And I have both of these gentlemen on this list. But right now I have a Edward Rutherford book, and this is New York, the novel. I really, really like Rutherford's work. I did read The Princes of Ireland and The Rebels of Ireland years and years and years ago, pre-BookTube days. And I really enjoyed both of them. So these books are essentially the history of a place. And in this case, it's New York. He's also done Paris and London and a couple of others. But now these are also very dense books. So this one comes in at a whopping, we jump from 473 pages for The Moonstone to 862 pages for this one. So these can be dense because there is a lot of description, a lot of explanation. So again, this is one that I think I would need to take some time on, a couple months at least, to work my way through it, but I think it would be well worth it. I really do enjoy his work. The Irish books, like The Rebels of Ireland and The Princes of Ireland, I think The Princes of Ireland is volume 1 and The Rebels of Ireland is volume 2. I actually have both of them over on my shelf over here that you can't see in hardback, because that's how much I enjoyed them. But yeah, so it says, in the tradition of James Michener, Rutherford unfurls more than 3 centuries of the city's history, as seen through the eyes of the descendants of the Van Dyke and Masters families, and the many other colorful characters he introduces along the way. So that's typically what happens, is they find one family and you follow that family. So it's like an epic family story as well, but a lot about the history of the place itself. So yeah, looking forward to getting to that one at some point. So jumping off from Michener, or from Rutherford, let's go to James A. Michener. So this is an author I read in high school. I read California Gold by him when I took the American History and Literature class in high school, and I really enjoyed it. And then about a decade or so ago, I jumped into his more well-known books, and I read Caribbean. Did I read? No, I did not read Caribbean. I read Chesapeake, and I read Hawaii. And now on my list, I have Alaska. So this is Alaska by James A. Michener, coming in at 868 pages. So only a few more pages than this one. But I do have this one on my Kindle. So again, very similar to New York. It traces the history of Alaska. And Alaska, you guys probably know, is one of my buzzwords. I want to get to this one. When I read Chesapeake and Hawaii, I did listen to both of them on audio. And I really, really liked the narrator. So this one might end up becoming an audiobook at some point, but one that maybe I listen to over a few months period. We shall see. But yeah, I want to get to more of his. Alaska just happens to be the one that is highest on my list for Michener's work. I also need to get to Texas. I think Caribbean is one. He's done a bunch of them and they're really, really good. I'd love to reread California Gold as well. So yeah, he is definitely on this list. Next up is Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone by Diana Gabaldon, which is the newest in the Outlander series. And this comes in at 902 pages. So I am doing a reread of Outlander. Now, I have read up until this book, but because there's so long between books coming out, and I think a lot of other people who are reading the Outlander series are doing the same thing, that you kind of do a reread through the series to get back to this one. These ones, I do read these on audio, even though I do have a Kindle edition of this one. I bought this on Kindle, and I also got it on sale for Audible. So I do have it for that as well. And I think it's something like 40 or 50 hours on audio. They're crazy. They're crazy. But I am doing a reread through the series. I need to get to book 2 before I continue on, and that is Dragonfly and Amber. So I'll get to that one. I was thinking maybe this month in February, but we're already like partway through the month. So I might wait until after March Mystery Madness and maybe get to that one in April. Maybe do that one over April and May. And then eventually I will get to this newest book in the series. But for now, this is on the list. And last but not least is a classic. You guys know I'm not a classics reader. But this one, I've heard so many people say how great this book is. And I did buy a copy of it. I have a Penguin Classics edition here, I think. Penguin English Library edition. Middlemarch by George Eliot. This is a doorstop, my friends. 919 pages, this edition. And yeah, Middlemarch is a moving story of men and women longing to do the right thing, but making bad decisions. I think we can all appreciate that, right? Among them is Dorothea Brooke, who wants to improve the world but finds her idealism crushed by her unhappy marriage to the aged scholar. And Dr. Lygate, whose shallow spendthrift wife threatens his dreams of medical progress. Described by Virginia Woolf as one of the few English novels written for grown-up people, Middlemarch's panoramic sweep ranges over the whole of human existence. Art, faith, science, politics, and love. Yet at its heart are real, flawed people searching for contentment. And that just sounds like really good. This is a chunky monkey. Chapter 68. Okay. So yeah, again, this is one that I think I would tackle over a few months. Whether or not I do it on audio, I don't know. Sometimes with classics, I find audio is better because the language is different than what I'm used to with more modern stories, but we shall see. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that is my list for my, as I'm calling it, my Pick 5 Tuesday video. I will be doing one of these every week. I hope that you guys are going to enjoy them. But let me know in the comments below, what big chunky books do you guys have on your TBRs that you haven't gotten to yet? And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.